Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video. Today we've got the rest of the LEGO Star Wars 2026 rumors and sets to talk about. This list is so convoluted and it's kind of hard to decide what's real, what's coming out later, like for 2027, because there's a lot of indications. If you're kind of in the community, you know, some of these sets might not even be coming out this year, because it would make more sense if they came out next year, right? And we kind of talked about them in some of the other videos, but something like the LEGO Star Wars movie posters, right? Or the LEGO Star Wars Icons set. We don't really know what those are, but like those are pretty good in sets that would fit for the 50th anniversary of Star Wars next year. So they could be coming out later this year, but we don't have a lot of details surrounding them. We don't have any dates, don't have any set numbers, any set piece numbers. So we don't really know what to expect from them to begin with. On top of it, would make more sense if they came out next year. It's kind of hard to tell, right? So we'll try to give you what we think is, you know, cemented in truth and what's coming out this year. To start us off with, I go with a bang. All the Smart Play sets. There's going to be 8 Smart Brick sets. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a huge popular line for LEGO Star Wars, but it is something they're going to do, so we might as well get over. I believe all of these are coming out in March. I'm not 100% sure on that, but with all that being said, we'll get right into it. First one being set 75423, the Smart Play Luke's Red 5 X-Wing. This one I think is one of the more popular ones that have circulated out, so you've probably seen it, but if you haven't, it comes with a Smart Brick, obviously. It comes with all the stuff that comes with that. It comes with Luke Skywalker, Leia, R2-D2 Stormtrooper, and I believe it's just like a Rebel pilot. I don't know necessarily what it is. It's some sort of Rebel trooper. Comes with the X-Wing, comes with like a turret for the Stormtrooper and like a little trolley that carries stuff for the X-Wing. Looks cool enough. It's going to be $90, about 581 pieces. This one, to be honest, looks like it could be, I think, the most popular out of all 8 of these. Not only just because of price, but because it's just an X-Wing, so it's just like the most base. Like, it doesn't have too much going on to it, and it's got like the opposing side and the light side, so it works. Very cool. You know, take it as you will. Next up, we have a set 75427. The Smart Play Throne Room Duel and A-Wing. So same thing, it's got both sides. This one I think is interesting enough. It's got the throne room, very similar to the diorama set we got just a couple years ago, and then an extension of that, it's got like a little base plate that you can put Luke and Darth Vader, and then they have like these sticks you attach them to, like the kinetic pieces, and then you can make them sword duel, right? So very cool. I'm assuming that it comes with the Smart Bricks to like kind of give you sound effects and all that with it. It comes with 2, so I'm assuming it comes for 1 for both sides. So again, you get some sound effects while dueling. This one looks again to be kind of, you know, it could be pretty popular, but this looks more like a younger set because no Advent, you know, 22 LEGO Star Wars collector is gonna collect this and play with it, right? It's just gonna be sitting on their collection, right? So I'm very interested to see how this one sells. It's gonna be $160 with 962 pieces, and it does come with that A-Wing, like I mentioned, and a turret as well. For minifigures, we get 2 Imperial throne room guards, Imperial guards, Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Luke, and then an A-Wing pilot. The A-Wing pilot looks pretty cool. I like how he looks. One of those A-Wing helmets that we haven't gotten in a while. So that looks cool. Besides that, though, it's the rest of it's pretty similar to, again, that diorama set we got just a couple of years ago. Then we have set 75421, the Darth Vader's TIE Fighter Smart Play set. It's going to be $70 with 473 pieces. It comes with Darth Vader and his TIE Fighter, his advanced TIE Fighter, and then it comes with a Rebel fighter, like some sort of like base. Like, yeah, he's got like a turret and a computer and a chair and a satellite dish. So that works as well. It comes with 1 Smart Brick. The Darth Vader's TIE Advance, I think, is a pretty cheap build, especially for $70. I feel like they could have done more with the actual TIE Fighter itself. Then we have set 75425, the Smart Play Mos Eisley Cantina. I don't remember when when the last one came out, like a playset. I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, if not longer. I forget the exact year it came out. I think it's like 2018, maybe 2017. But it comes with old Obi-Wan Ben. You got Greedo, a Sand Trooper. You got the actual Cantina. I forget what the alien species are called, but like I think the big heads, the alien heads. You know which ones I'm talking about with the saxophone. So they're included in that as well. Very cool. It comes with, I believe, just one smart brick. But overall, I think this one's gonna be interesting to see how it works, because it is a Mos Eisley Cantina. We haven't got one in a while that wasn't just a playset. So according just to that front, it's not too bad. It's $80, so it's actually not even, I think, overly too expensive. I feel like for a Mos Eisley Cantina set, you would be expecting $80 for just the Lego Star Wars set in general. So it's not too far off, and 666 pieces. This one I think is one of the better of the 8 smart brick sets for Lego Star Wars. Then we have set 75424, the AT-ST Attack on Endor. This is going to be $50, so I believe this is the cheapest one of the 8. 347 pieces. It comes with an Ewok. I don't know if it's Wicket. I want to say it is. It looks a lot like it. It comes with a Scout Trooper and then AT-ST Pilot. It comes with one of the speeder bikes from Endor, and then obviously the AT-ST. It's obviously a lot smaller than the last AT-ST we got in 2020 or 2021. I can't remember the exact year it came out, but it's a lot smaller than that one. But it doesn't look too small. I'm very interested to see how this compares to size length. It looks a lot shorter, but like width-wise and bulk, it doesn't look too much smaller. And then the speeder looks pretty good too. Again, this was probably the smallest and the cheapest of all 8 of the smart brick sets. Then we have set 75426, the Millennium Falcon Smart Play set. This is going to be only $100 with 885 pieces. It comes with Luke, C-3PO, Han, and Chewie. From what we get from the pictures, the interior, I don't think it lacks too much. I think this will work. I'm very interested to see how this compares. It looks to be a lot shorter in length, especially the front end. It looks like it's almost just cut clear off. The ends aren't very long. But like the actual bay area and the cockpit, those don't look like they shrunk too much. They definitely did a little bit, but not crazy amount. So I'm interested to see how this compares in size to that one. It's $80 less, almost half the price, so it's obviously going to be smaller, but it doesn't look like it's half the size, I would say. So that's very interesting. $100, it doesn't look totally unfair. So this one looks also pretty fair, especially for a smart play. The Millennium Falcon, you knew was going to come out eventually. It's going to be, one of the most iconic things from Star Wars. They've got to put it out with this new line. Then we have set 75422, the Yoda's Hut and Jedi Training Smart Play set. This one looks very interesting. It's $70, 444 pieces. Now, it doesn't have a lot of pieces, but it has a lot of big pieces and molds. The actual hut itself is very, I want to say almost similar size to the last Yoda hut we got, which was a while ago. I think same thing like 2018, 2017. So similar size, so that's not crazy small. Then we have an extra build like a tree and like some moving parts that's supposed to make it look like Luke's using the Force. I wish they would have used transparent pieces, because they use like these big black kinetic pieces, and it makes it look like a Ferris wheel, kind of like something you'd see at a circus, which I don't think that's what it's supposed to look like. I think it's supposed to kind of give off of that, him using the Force or training. So it is what it is. It doesn't look too bad. It's just very interesting that they would use those pieces when I know they have those clear transparent pieces. Then we have an R2-D2 that has like all dirty and grubby. A Luke Skywalker, obviously, in Dagobah training outfit, and then a Yoda. So overall, I think it's very cool. It's $70. Doesn't look totally unfair, but again, I don't think this is one of those ones that collectors, especially for the price, are going to buy and play with. This is more aimed for some of your younger crowd. And then lastly, for the last smart brick set we have is set 75420, and it's going to be Luke's Land Speeder. This one's probably supposed to kind of pair up nicely with the Mos Eisley. This is only $40 with 215 pieces. Comes with just Luke Skywalker and a Jawa. And it has like a little Jawa hut, it looks like. And then obviously Luke's Land Speeder. I think it looks just fine comparative to all the other Luke's land speeder. It doesn't look way smaller. It obviously is a little bit smaller, but it can fit obviously Luke. It can fit Old Ben if you want it. I don't know if it can fit R2D2 in the back. It's kind of hard to tell, but it has like a compartment back there, so it's not way too small. That $40 would be unreasonable. So I think that one's interesting. And then it comes, I just saw this out of the corner of my eye, it comes with a Gonk droid, a blue Gonk droid. So that's also pretty cool. It's, I love it when we get unique Gonk droids or just unique droids, because there's just so many different droids in the Star Wars universe. So anytime we can get a unique one, I just love it. You know, I like R2D2, but we have 1,000 of them, so I like to, you know, broaden our horizon with the droids that we get in Lego Star Wars. So there you have it. That is all of the Smart Play sets we have. Now, I believe all of them are coming out March 1st, so within a month you're going to be seeing all of them. Again, this is a new line. Lego in general is trying to introduce the Smart Bricks and the Smart Play sets, and Lego Star Wars being like their biggest seller, obviously it makes sense that they would try to pair this new line with Star Wars. So just keep an eye out for that. Another set coming out on March is the Polybag Razor Crest, $5, set 30728. It's the second Polybag. Usually they release 2 Polybags in a year, although I was expecting this to come out in May. It's coming out March. It's going to kind of, I think, pair nicely with the Mando and Grogu movie that's coming out around the same time as well. Speaking of May, we do know what our May 1st or May the 4th promotion is supposed to be. Every year they have a promotion. Last year it was the Clone Camino training facility. The year before it was the droid carrier set. This year it's supposed to be the dark saber, so like a buildable lightsaber, but instead of being a typical lightsaber that we've seen with like Luke's lightsaber and Yoda's lightsaber, this year it's going to be the dark saber, set 40917. So very, very cool. I expect it just to be the hilt, not the actual full dark saber. It would be cool if it was. I don't think it will. And unfortunately, I don't think there's any minifigures rumored to come out alongside it. So just keep an eye out for that as well. Now, some of the other sets we may have talked about, but I think we have more information now on, are set 75438, set 75439, Yoda's bust and Darth Vader's bust, both coming out on May 1st. Yoda's 399 pieces for $50, Darth Vader's 349 pieces for $60. So less pieces, more price, but I expect bigger pieces, bigger molded pieces. Yoda, I think, just doesn't have as need for as many bigger pieces, so keep an eye out for those as well. Then we have set 75445, the Anzelian Starship, for $70 with 700 pieces, coming out May 1st. I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but I believe this is going to be a Mandalorian Grogu set. The Anzelians are like the Babu Frick that we see in The Last Skywalker. I think that is Rise of the Skywalker, whatever it is, the 9th movie. We know we've seen them in the trailer. They're in Mandalorian Grogu. I don't know how big of a role they play, but we obviously know there's a couple of them in there, so I believe that's what that's coming from. That's what that species is. So that's coming out May 1st, alongside set 75446. Yeah, another buildable Grogu. I believe this is the 3rd one we've had, just a standalone Grogu. Then last year we had the Grogu and Pram set. This one's going to be $130 with 1,200 pieces. You know, we'll see how this one is. I don't really know why we have a 3rd one out now, just in the span of 5-6 years that it's been. But, you know, I think they're trying to milk Mandalorian Grogu as best they can, especially with the movie coming out. I guess it's not too unheard of for them to do something like this. Then we have set 75447, the Razor Crest, $150, 930 pieces. This is obviously going to be from the Mandalorian Grogu, with the new Razor Crest showing up in the trailer. We fully expect to see a new Razor Crest come in line for the Mandalorian, so it'd be fitting that they make a new set about it. And I expect it to be that new Razor Crest, not the old Razor Crest. Then we have set 75453, the Mandalorian and Grogu Sandcrawler, for $200. I don't remember the exact time this one's coming out, but I believe it's a summer set. This one, I believe it's from supposed to be season 1 of Mandalorian, when he goes and captures that egg from the Jawas, and he's chasing down the Sandcrawler because they stole parts of the Razor Crest. I believe that's what this set is kind of based off of, just from the rumors I've heard. I don't think there's a new Sandcrawler in the Mandalorian Grogu movie, so that's what that's supposed to be off of. Pretty cool, $200 $200, you can expect a fairly nice size Sandcrawler. You know, it's Lego Star Wars. You never know. Last year was kind of case in point for that. But I think for $200, they're not gonna do us dirty with that. Then we have set 75454, the Mandalorian Grogu AT-AT, 160 pieces. There'll be a little bit of a downsize from the last AT-AT we got, but I don't think it's going to be too small that it won't be a good enough size. We obviously saw the AT-ATs in the trailer. He takes one down, so I expect it's going to be from the movie. You know, probably that scene in general will be what it's from. So very, very cool. Then we have set 75455, Boba Fett, $170. This one I think is interesting. For all intents and purposes, I believe this is supposed to be a buildable character, Boba Fett. Now, you think it might be weird because a lot of the other ones we've had are like sidekicks, droids, but we did just have Chewbacca come out 2 years ago, I believe it was now, and that's a full-blown character. So if they can do Chewbacca, I think they can do Boba Fett. Very interesting to see though, because this is like the first human they've done from the line. So very interesting. We'll see how that one turns out. $170. I think it will be around the same size as the Chewbacca, I would assume. Set 76456, the Star Wars Advent Calendar for 2026, coming out in September. So that one just goes without saying. We know what to expect from that. There's a bunch of other sets that we don't know a lot about, like when they're coming out or what they're coming out as, but we know there's a couple sets coming out in July and June. I believe the July set is the Amazon exclusive. Last year we had one set. It could be wrong. It could be June, but it was one of those months before August, and it was a standalone release, and it was an Amazon exclusive. And it looks like we're gonna have something with the same category this year. We don't know what it is quite yet. Maybe it's something from the Mandalorian Grogu they're trying to keep secret. Who knows at this moment? But just keep an eye out for that. Then we have set 75461. It's supposed to be a Mandalorian Grogu 12 plus set with 1,028 pieces coming out June. We don't actually know what the set is and how much it's going to cost. For that much, I would expect no less than $100, probably 120, 140 at the very least. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. Again, maybe something from the actual show, some sort of ship that we see or location that they just don't want to reveal yet. They don't want to give any spoilers. And then there's a bunch of other sets that I'm not going to go over right now because we have no idea when they're coming out. It could be to 2027, and I'm talking about Ewok Village sets. That is a play set, an Imperial shuttle set. We talked about some of these movie poster sets, icons, an upscale Darth Vader minifigure, like a buildable minifigure that we saw from the Harry Potter line a couple years ago. So I'm not going to go over any of those. I wish we knew more about them, and some of these could be coming out. There was an Anakin's Jedi Starfighter that we thought was coming out this year. We don't know anything about that one either. There's a bunch of these that we just don't know the details for, and I feel like it would be a disservice to go over them if they're not even coming out this year. So that's, I feel like, what we have the most intel on that are coming out March, May, June, July, and August. Obviously, we don't know too much about the August and summer wave yet, so we'll be getting more details about that as time comes on. So with all that being said, let us know what you guys think down in the comments, what you're most excited for. It looks like we're gonna have a lot of Mandalorian and Grogu movie sets this year, which I'm excited for. You know, it's been a while since we've got a movie line of sets. I think the last time was like, I wouldn't even say Rise of Skywalker, probably like Rogue One maybe. It's just been a while since we've gone through that. So I'm excited to go through that and just, you know, take a break for some sets that we've been rinsing and repeating. So very, very fun. All that being said though, don't forget that like, don't hit that subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.